The lead up to Sizzle season was extremely negative, but after a few weeks with it, was it really as bad as people say? The kits looked terrible, the new map was another Tetris piece, Muscle Forge wasn't great in 2, they fumbled the bag with challenges. I could go on about how antagonistic the entire community was feeling, including myself. Once I got my hands on these kits, however, that changed. Yeah, there isn't a single lethal sub in any of these weapons, but most of them kind of work. Take the Big Swig Express, the weapon I was most excited about. Line Marker may be the worst sub in the game, but it gives a fast, long-ranged chip damage support weapon, more range, more support, location on enemies, and more chip damage. And I actually enjoy using it. It's fun to sit back and spam them to help my teammates, then rush in to help them battle, or even do things myself since the vertical flick is pretty good on its own. And to add on to all of this, Inkstorm completes the kit pretty perfectly. More support, more chip damage, it forces enemies to move. This thing has itself a very solid kit. Even a lot of the other kits on weapons I don't play, like Tetras, Tent, Nova, and even the newcomers like Paintbrush and S-Blast. This is the first season where the future of competitive is pretty uncertain. Machine and Stamper got huge nerfs that made them fall off hard, along with Brella's getting fixed. They work properly now. Who knows if we'll see them in comps since they still don't have great damage, but this is a start. And with so many great weapons coming into the fold, it's exciting to think about what new comps will arise. Even the new missile weapon, a 190 PFS wiper, isn't that bad. What would be pretty bad is not hitting that subscribe button, so do me a favor and hit it. Barnacle and Dime, however, threw everyone for a loop, because yeah, it's another Tetris piece, it only works on splat zones and clan blitz, and there are no flanks, but then there are inkable walls and cover and actual ways to get into mid. Yeah, it's actually not that bad of a stage, and it definitely has some potential. Same with Muscle Forge. There are a minimal amount of quality of life updates that, along with not having a special spam meta, make it better than what was present in Splatoon 2. Speaking of quality of life, they added a ton of small changes that make the game feel like a smoother experience. But then they just neglected gear and locker items. What the catalog has is all they added, which isn't to say it's not good. We've got such classics as the Intended Entertainment System, the Supreme NES, the 8 Squared Game System, and the See-Through Game Youth. So as funny as that is it, which is pretty disappointing considering we got over 150 pieces of gear last season. But hey, League's here finally, except it's completely reworked to be called challenges that have very limited and inconvenient time windows. You know, I'm not even surprised at this point, it's fucking Nintendo. They'll add a cool thing only to go, oh, by the way, it also has... The first challenge we got was Turf, without secondary gear abilities, and the rewards were a single token to be used at the Shellout machine and a badge based on your performance. Future challenges look cool, but they still have all the inconvenience and garbage thrown in with them. And while the kits we got were solid, it was the least amount of new kits and weapons we've gotten in a single season. Plus, Gold Dynamo still wasn't added, and I feel like at this point it's false advertising. It's on the cover art, yet not in the game, which is confusing, just like the new music. I may be in the minority in this one, but the new battle music does not fit the vibe Splatoon 3 gives, but at least the new lobby music slaps. So competitively, this season has done great things to shake up the meta and give new things for players to learn and experience, and while I'm not exactly a Salmon Run expert, they actually put a lot of care into the mode this update, so Salmon Run fans are eating pretty good. But overall, the update feels weird. I'm curious, what are y'all's thoughts on the update?